Harry and Walter Going to New York is a pretty good film, but I do think that it became less entertaining the more it went on. This was released in 1976. It's directed by Mark Rydell, written by John Byrum and Robert Kaufman, and we have a brilliant cast, including James Caan, Elliott Gould, Michael Caine, Diane Keaton, Carol Kane. I absolutely love the cast, and the narrative itself is quite interesting. It's set at the end of the 1800s, and it's about two vaudevillians who decide to rob a bank, and we have some other shady characters who are also trying to rob a bank, and I find it to be quite interesting, as I've seen several bank robbery films, but I don't think I'd ever seen any from the 19th century, or set during the 19th century, so I thought that was something a little bit different, and I was quite keen to see what it would be like. And while I can't completely vouch for the factual accuracy of the historical aspect, it felt atmospheric. I felt like I'd been transported back in time, so that certainly worked well. The costumes look great. The music is brilliant. I absolutely love the music in this. It's so fun. And I wouldn't say it's laugh out loud funny, but I can definitely see that it's a comedy. It's not one of those comedies where I don't understand why it's a comedy. It's certainly quite silly fun at times. The performances give off some really great comedy, and some of the dialogue's quite funny. So yeah, it is mildly amusing. I think for me, the part that just didn't work as well as I'd hoped is the narrative. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not that I don't think it was believable within the context of the film, or that I wasn't happy with what was happening. I just didn't find it to be that interesting as it went on. It just wasn't as fascinating, but it was still funny at times. We still had some really great performances. I didn't really care for any of the characters. I didn't dislike anybody, absolutely not. But I wasn't necessarily invested emotionally in anybody's journey. So there's nothing wrong with this film, and there are a lot of things that are done right. I did feel like I'd been transported back in time. The comedy is quite effective. The narrative is an interesting idea, and generally it's not badly executed. I just feel like it loses its appeal. I'd say certainly by the final third. I didn't time it exactly, but I'd say roughly the final third is when things just became a little less interesting for me personally. But the performances are great, the characters are interesting enough, even though I wasn't too bothered about any of them. And generally, I'd say it ended up being a fun film, quite a funny film, great cast, visually quite appealing, the music is brilliant, the narrative works well enough, and while I didn't love it completely from start to finish, I don't really have any problems with it either. Do I recommend it? Yes, I do recommend it. I probably wouldn't watch it a second time. But as a one-time watch, it was something a little bit different, quite fun, quite funny, with some great performances, and certainly it was visually satisfying with some great music. Harry and Walter Go to New York is, in general, a decent film, and I'm happy to recommend it.